Ever missed an opportunity to shoot a deer because you were too slow? Ever wounded an animal? Of course, as a hunter, that's something you want to avoid. But in reality, in the field, you process a ton of information. Without a solid checklist, stuff can distract you. And if you think it's just about honing your shooting skills, I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. I'm sure you'll agree that you can't build a house without a proper foundation, and the same concept applies to shooting. In this video, I'll share 6 checks to help you build a solid foundation for shooting when you're hunting. Welcome to the Red Kettle channel. Here you'll get tips, tricks to set yourself up for success when hunting. I don't know if you're like me, but ultimately I hunt to shoot deer or what other animal might be hunting. So it's ironic that occasionally I've set myself up for failure when preparing to shoot. Once I gut shot a red deer hind in Scotland. Horrible. Another time I was too slow and missed an opportunity to shoot a huge kudu bull in South Africa. Embarrassing. And there are more examples. I'll share the details another time. Here's the thing. Each time I would have told you that it probably wasn't my day. Something got in the way. But every time it was my day, and I was the one who got in the way of myself. And every time you're hunting, it is your day. When we make mistakes, because we fail to run through the right checks to ensure that we are focused and ready. It's never because of the day. It's never because of the position of the sun, moon and stars or whatever. Okay, fair enough, you might say. Sounds good. But what are those checks? Let's take a step back. I am a little OCD, but ultimately, I think you'll agree that you'll benefit from that. OCD perhaps, but I've also seen the value of processes and procedures again and again throughout my professional career and from many years of hunting and shooting. Thank you to H. Yono. Thank you, Lanny Bassam. So I use a 6-phase process to guide me when I'm hunting, and I have a set of standard operating procedures for each of those phases. For example, phase 4 is a setup where I prepare the shot. That's the foundation. Phase 5 is shoot, where I execute, pull the trigger and hit the animal. Both phases are equally important if you want to take a successful shot. In this video, I'll share my checks for the setup phase. You can use them to set yourself up for success. And I have more to share at the end of the video, including more on the shoot phase, plus a few other tools that could help you stay focused, fast and successful when hunting. Okay, let's run through those checks. Check number 1, confirm it's a safe shot. Safety is non-negotiable. Don't take it for granted and know what to look out for. Check number 2, confirm you have a clear shot. This one is obvious on paper, but many hunters have paid the consequences of neglecting it in the field. If you don't have a clear shot, you might miss or wound the animal. Don't go there. Check number 3, confirm you are sufficiently concealed. Sometimes you can get away with being out in the open for a quick shot. At other times, you've got to do your best to stay undetected. The Camouflage 9S will help you, and I'm preparing a separate video on that topic. Check number 4, confirm you will hit the animal. In some cases, you'll know immediately. Other times, you've got to measure and evaluate carefully. In those cases, it's usually the distance and the weather that dictate how careful you need to be. Confirm you will kill the animal sufficiently fast. This one is really about knowing the limitation of your cartridge and your bullet. Check number 6, repeat for all positions if relevant. Sometimes you've got to cover several sectors. Sometimes you can access those sectors in advance. Put the odds in your favor by preparing for all scenarios. Remember that red deer hind I mentioned. It wouldn't have suffered if I'd run through these checks. That kudu bull, it would have been on my wall if I'd run through these procedures. I want you to harvest an animal each time you pull the trigger in the field. And I'm sure you feel the same way. I know for sure that these checks can help you, and I hope you'll make the most of them. But there's of course more detail if you want to implement them properly. You can fill in the blanks yourself or check out the sub-procedures for each of the 7 checks. You have 2 options. Option number 1, check out the free intro course I've created. It's going to give you the procedures and sub-procedures and a downloadable checklist. Option 2, get the full online course that I've created, complete with a detailed workbook that will also double as a field guide. Links in the description. And before I forget, I mentioned a few other tools. Watch out for more videos on checks for the shoot phase. They'll give you the steps you need to get into position and take the shot successfully. And watch out for videos on shooting tactics for speed and accuracy, and what I call the 5 critical shot factors you've got to balance for each shot. Thanks for watching.